recording. Alright, well, third time's a charm, hey? So, I don't know if we're technically live yet.
Oh, we live AF.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, in this case, hello everybody. I think, wow, yeah, so can I just say 0 dropped frames with Skype. So we're going back to
Heck
Skype on the
yeah.
regular. So this is now how it's going to be. And I'm sorry everybody that you guys can't see my face unless you look on stream.
It's okay.
I know, you guys miss me.
I'll get over it.
Yeah. So this week, the Summit Podcast is talking about E3. Big surprise. That's what everyone else is doing.
Wait, what's that? I need some help here. I didn't study for this test.
Oh, sorry. Of course. So E3 is a conference in which video games and video game companies, as well as tech companies and software companies, generally reveal, or at least give us insight into what they're doing over the next year, and several years in some cases. EA.
That sounds like something gamers might enjoy.
Yeah, and
just a guess.
yeah, and that's kind of what we thought going into this. So we thought we'd share this with everybody else because I think it doesn't get the attention that it needs. I mean, I think people really ignore it, generally speaking, and so it
I
really
would have heard
just
some
felt
buzz
right.
about this.
I know, right?
We might be the first ones breaking this story.
It feels really right to bring this to the masses. To be the first ones to talk about E3, I can't imagine a better group to do it with than you guys. All right.
Just perpetual smile.
Yeah. So, we're going to be talking about E3. Basically, our opinions on it. We're going to discuss it. Yeah. Also, my webcam is definitely tilted. This is what happens when you rush to fix your technical difficulties.
We'll join you, and then it won't look as weird.
Yeti went the other way. God damn it. All right. Anyways, yeah, enter enigmatic eggs. Yeah, enter enigmatic eggs. That's right, side quest. That's what E3 is.
I like eggs.
I am allergic to eggs.
What?
I love eggs.
Yeah, my life, right?
What?
Yeah, I'm allergic to eggs.
That's cray-cray.
I know.
Did
It's
not know
really
that was
awful.
a thing.
It's like you can be allergic to eggs. I am not allergic to them when they're cooked into things, so like I can still have pastries and stuff, which is awesome, but I can't have them on their own because they make me very gaseous. And yeah, so my girlfriend doesn't want to be around me when I eat eggs.
Get them egg farts.
Yeah, and it's real gross. It's real bad. You're welcome, internet. I just shared that with you. So let's jump into it. E3. There were some conferences. Some of them were good. Some of them were really, really bad. And some of them were just kind of like what we expected, I guess. Which also, I guess, could have fit into the really, really bad ones in some instances. Ubisoft. But, I think, generally speaking, it went pretty well. I think E3 was pretty alright. I personally was extremely disappointed with it. I know Yeti's pretty hyped about some things, and, as per usual, I suppose. And Josh was working, so he's feeling pretty good about things right now. Very confident.
I hate life.
Yeah.
Did I say Lurf?
You did say Lurf.
I hate Lurf.
Lurf is difficult.
But I got purred yesterday, so I'm gonna spurn some murder today. Yeah, I can't talk like that for very long. It hurts my brainstem.
Yeah. I don't think that I understood a word you said.
I don't know that I understood a word that I said. After it came out of my mouth, in my brain, it was seeming alright, and then it spoke itself. Never mind. We're just not speaking words today.
Yeah, well, all right. English is difficult.
I'll just express my opinions about each game with an interpretive dance.
I am 100% okay with that if you do it. This is, I would be absolutely. I would be
Microsoft
thrilled.
announced a new console. Oh, something just popped. Oh.
And that is exactly what happens when you get a new console.
Oh. Something just popped.
All right. So, let's jump into our opinion. I mean, I don't know. We could talk about the conferences, but Yeti, you said you only saw EA and Bethesda.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw EA, Bethesda, Sony, Microsoft, and Ubisoft. Those were the ones I had time to see because I was unemployed up until yesterday. So I had time.
And now your life is over.
And now I will never watch a conference again because I will never have time. Yeah, I don't know. So why don't we start with the ones that we know? EA. Honestly, I think I'd like to hear your opinion first because I'm gonna go off on EA a little bit, and I'm curious what you loved about them so much, Yeti.
Star Wars. I didn't love EA. I don't know. It wasn't something I didn't like have problems with it. I was just because I'm not really that bothered that much about EA. Like the Star Wars games will come out, and I heard Seaman as well. Yeah, for the record. The side quest. The Star Wars games. I know you're going to talk about those, so I'll hold off on that one. But Madden happened, FIFA happened, and I mean whatever, right, to me. But still no NHL on PC. I was more just watching it for Battlefield. My thing with that was I feel like I loved the whole thing with getting all the YouTubers to do it. I was really for that, watching people play, and then it gave them an opportunity to get some gameplay as well. I know Matimio and Level Cap have been uploading a bunch, because they're YouTubers that I watch. But I sort of feel like the whole thing with like Zac Efron and just these random celebrities playing it, like what? And then like
Snoop
looking at
Dogg.
that wall, hell yeah. And then the narrator was trying to be like, oh, he's trying to peek over that wall, look for the enemy coming, and he's like, no, he's just looking at a wall.
Oh.
He's just checking out the textures of the game. What's the problem? He was making sure he got a real close look at all of the textures. Dude is just
Doing
an
some
artist.
scouting for TB.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like they had Emily Ratajkowski, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't really play games, and I'm really bad at them." So what are you doing here then? Who chose the people?
Which
I don't
one
know.
do I move with?
I enjoyed it, but some people seemed a bit redundant. I enjoyed the YouTubers being there, and I enjoyed watching it. Battlefield 1, it looks good. I like it, but beyond that, a lot of dilly-dallying.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely something to be said for the YouTubers being there. I think the fact that they decided to put some celebrities in who had clearly never played games before in their life. I mean, Snoop Dogg, we all know he has played a ton of video games, and his skill was unimaginable, which I think sums up exactly how well he played. But people like Zac Efron who were like 0-4 or 0-8, who were just like running around and freaking out. It's like that does like I get
Snoop
that you
was
just
0-11.
yeah, like I get it that you want to have his face on there, but the faces he was making were like like it wasn't pretty. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I think Battlefield looked interesting. I was very excited for the planes and for the blimp, but it's about it, Like I think as far as like World War One type games, Call of Duty had that covered with what was it, World at War or whatever.
World at War was World War II.
Yeah, which I mean I get
And
it.
then
It's
they
different.
had-
It's a different era, but like they did it pretty well.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I really wanted to go back to one of those, I could. Or like even back to Battlefield 1942, which was a fantastic game. I'd rather play that, than be like, oh, let's all use these prototype machine guns that weren't actually in the war. Yeah.
That was not me like masturbating. That was me cranking a gun. I swear.
You sure?
Don't give me this much credit.
I mean, all you said is that you were cranking a gun, not that it was your gun.
That's a good. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a dude hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
You can't actually see.
Anyways, masturbation jokes aside, or hand job jokes aside. Yeah, I think Battlefield looked interesting. I will probably play it. It looks good enough that I'll probably pick it up. But like, I got a pretty good look at those wall textures, and I was enjoying it. I don't know. I think like it's all right. It looks like it's not as authentic as I might have liked it to be, but it's also a video game that is designed to actually attract a large audience. And so I'm willing to accept some level of inauthenticity in order to actually have an audience that makes sense for it. I don't know. But the plane combat, I'm real excited to fly those planes. I don't know.
I've always hated Battlefield games, so I probably won't pick it up just out of principle. But
That's fair.
it looks good. They always put out a game that looks good. I just don't like the combat style.
That's fair. I mean, has that been something that's like been always with Battlefield, or like
Yeah, I've tried them over the years continually, and I just can't. I don't know why. I can't get into it. I've always preferred Call of Duty because it's more fast paced, I guess. But now I don't play any first person shooters really. So
Yeah, I mean, if you want fast paced, go with Counter-Strike. But I mean, if you want slow paced now, go with Siege because it's better than anything else that's out there.
Siege looks like real
Amen.
fun. I need to pick it up.
I would also like to pick up Siege at some point. I haven't yet because I've been unemployed. Now that I'm employed, I will probably pick it up.
I just got paid today, and the Steam summer sale is starting. Actually, it might have already started. Did it already start?
No, it's starting next week. But
next week.
Okay, I was gonna say.
why are
I
you
just
saying
got
we
paid.
should wait, Yeti?
The starter pack has fucked everything. There are way too many idiots. I feel like there's more new people playing from the starter packs than there are people who are already playing it. So we're all just getting drowned out by idiots, and they are toxic as fuck. I've basically resorted to playing. Yeah, exactly. I've been playing exclusively ranked now because you have to be like level 20 or something to even play that. But then the game's like 40 minutes long. If you're going casual, it's not going to work out. I was playing Terrorist Hunt yesterday, and I played 2 games with this one guy. He had the hostage. We completely cleared the level out, and it took him like 3 minutes to run from like here to about 10 feet to the exit because he went out. Someone fired a stray bullet like up in the air while we were waiting, and he ran back in downstairs into the basement, hid for about 30 seconds, came out, went right back all the way around the building, and then the very next game he threw a nitro cell down. I ran to put a barricade on the door, and he blew the door up because he thought it was an enemy when the round hadn't even started yet. They actually just drive me mental. I can't deal with the new people in that goddamn game anymore. And level balancing has gone out the window as well because there's too many new people playing, so the teams aren't balanced anymore. It's gone to shit. Fuck the start pack.
You know what? That's great. I'm really happy that you just went on that rant. Also, though, Josh, I think now's our chance. I think we should jump in.
Yes.
Yeah. This is.
That was my biggest concern, is that there'd be a steep learning curve. But if everybody sucks, then I'm gonna blend right in.
Exactly.
And it won't matter.
This is exactly my point. We're gonna be terrible at this game, Yeti. We are those people that you'll hate. We are those people. Yep. And I'm 100% okay with that. Also, though, you're right. Fuck the starter pack. If I'm gonna buy it, I'll buy the full game because I don't want to be leveling up like slow as shit. Also, I can afford No Man's Sky when it comes out, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Steam summer sale starts in 5 days. I just got paid today, which means that'll all be gone in 5 days.
Yes. Maybe less.
I hope Prison Architect goes on sale. I want to buy Prison Architect so bad.
I would think it'll go on sale. But jumping back to E3 rather than, I guess, jumping at Siege and wanting to play it. As far as EA goes, I was very pissed off that their Star Wars segment was basically them being like, hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And hopes.
That's kind of.
And dreams.
I was similarly mad with their Mass Effect Andromeda. Like their quote unquote trailer for that was like, here's how we made the game. It like didn't really give that much insight into what it's like. I didn't learn a lot. It was like, oh, here's us in the development studio. Here's us, Alex. Okay, show me what the plot is and show me what the gameplay's like. That's what I want to know. And they didn't show much of that.
When they started the Star Wars thing, I was like, if they start this off by showing a guy drawing on one of those fucking tablets, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yes.
The first thing they did.
This isn't teaching me anything.
The first thing they did was show someone with that fucking tablet. I'm just like,
it's Bob Ross here, and today I'm gonna draw Stormtrooper.
Exactly.
It's had a nice little AT-AT in the background.
Happy little AT-ATs.
Yeah.
Bob Ross is on Netflix.
He needs a friend.
Yeah.
I know, I've been watching the heck out of it. I can't stop. I don't know why. He draws. Every single painting of his is some combination of sky, clouds, water, mountain, trees. That's it. It's those things only, and it's some combination. But it's amazing. I don't know why. I'm enthralled every time I watch.
I really like I've known about Bob Ross for a long time, but Josh has just informed me like a couple of days ago about David Ross, which is Steve Zaragoza's
20 times better
sketch comedy of Bob Ross, and it's fucking fantastic. And I know I've been out of the loop, so like this is not news to anybody, but that stuff is great. If you haven't checked it out, do it.
That's what's funny is I knew who Bob Ross was. I was like, oh, he's a painter, blah blah. But I'd never seen any of his stuff. And then I watched those David Ross videos, and I was like, I wonder how like accurate a portrayal this is to the actual. Oh, it's pretty accurate. So this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Then I went back and watched Bob Ross, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I think going in watching Bob Ross now that you've seen David Ross makes it
changes your whole perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes it like infinitely better, honestly.
Anytime he cleans off that brush, I just lose my mind.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
You gotta watch some Bob Ross.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are you doing still watching the show, right? Nice, Yeti. That's awesome. Bob Ross here in chat.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so, I don't know. Anyways, hopes and dreams, and Star Wars basically didn't show anything. And it's like, oh, good, you have a VR Battlefront piece where you're in an X-Wing. That's fantastic. Release it as a standalone game, and I will eat it up. Put it as part of Battlefront. I don't want the rest of the game. I don't want it. Like, yes, it's Star Wars, great, but like I don't want it. Like, just give me the VR part. Let me fly in an X-Wing and I will be stoked. Like, seriously, if they release a full-fledged game of just that, like of flying in ships and having space combat, I will be the happiest person in the world. Like, I will be absolutely ecstatic. If they don't, I'm going to be extremely disappointed now. I was also hoping to see a lot more from the Visceral Studios Star Wars game, which is the third-person action-adventure game that they're planning on doing, because it's going to have a lot of story elements. We know from a screenshot that was posted that, that it's going to be somewhere between episode 6 and 7. So that's kind of exciting. We at least know a time frame, but like, I'm at the point with Star Wars where it's like, if you're not giving me real information, I'm just going to hear the speculation from other people anyway, so I don't care. Like, if you're there to announce things. Don't just give us more speculation bullshit. So that pissed me off. But what I do like is that basically every I can't even think of the word right now. At every like subsidiary company of EA, every single one is working on a Star Wars game right now, which makes me super happy, but also super pissed that we didn't get to see anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, they dropped the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I think like they had an opportunity. Like they could have just even shown initial renders, or like just a little bit, just saying like this is a character that's going to be in the action RPG. Like this is your main character, or like just give like a short character bio of like he's this type of character, so we know that we're playing like a rogue, or we're playing like a rebel, or we're playing like a first order soldier, or like what are we playing, like what, just give us something, give us like a little bit of information and like a render. I don't need to see gameplay yet. I get it, you're not at that stage, but showing me this hopes and dreams bullshit is just it's just inconsiderate, honestly. It's it's disingenuous to what Star Wars is. Like, yes, there are hopes and dreams in Star Wars, but it's tangible. It's always been tangible, except for the Force. The Force is the only thing that's intangible in Star Wars, and you producing a game is not part of the Force. So fuck off, produce something tangible. I don't know. Anyways, like, I don't know. I think that's basically all I have to say about EA. The rest of their conference was fine. It was like not exciting, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing blew me away from
Yeah.
them.
Titanfall 2, any opinions?
Sorry, what was that?
About what?
Titanfall 2.
Oh, I didn't give any shits about Titanfall 1.
Fact.
So, like, watching Titanfall 2, I was kind of like, that's neat. It's Titanfall.
Yeah.
It looks like they've improved a lot of the combat. They gave it a single-player mode, which is nice. I would be more likely to play it now that there is a single-player mode. That being said, I probably still won't. I just don't have that much of an interest. If I want mech combat, there are strictly mech games that you can get that are like pretty solid. So I don't know. I don't have a reason to get it. It didn't hook me, is what I'll say. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I like the looks of it. I have Titanfall 1 and I haven't played it, so I will play Titanfall 1 now and see what I think. Because it seems to have fixed the problem. Like, I feel like there wasn't a ton of content in Titanfall 1, that there weren't a ton of gun variety, like there was one sniper and stuff, so it seems like they're trying to take into consideration what went wrong with the previous game and put that into the next game and improve it. I'd like to try it, but at this point, I sort of don't have that much of an opinion on it. I'll play Titanfall 1 first and see how it goes.
Yeah, fair enough. Any thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, but pretty much piggybacking off what you guys said. I never really played Titanfall 1. I had friends that did. It's a cool concept for a game. Like, the mechs are cool, but if I was more interested in it, I would have purchased it myself and bought it, but I wasn't. So, and now that I don't really play first-person shooters, I probably will not purchase Titanfall 2 either. But it looks cool.
Perfectly fair. Hey, Siege may change whether you play first-person shooters or not.
True. I'm
Yeah.
hoping they put that on the... I don't know if they'll do it. It's probably too new to put on the Steam Summer Sale, but they might drop it a little bit.
I think you might see the starter pack put on sale.
Yeah.
I doubt you'll see the full game. Because they're definitely trying to push the starter packs. I don't know. Like that's probably too new to even put on sale, but they might. I think that's more likely than the full game. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see less sports from EA in the future.
But FIFA.
Yeah, great. That FIFA story mode thing where they had that actor come out and abduct the audience. I wasn't nuts about that. I don't know. I like sports a lot. I play a lot of sports. Side quest. I swear to God, if you ever say that to me again, we're no longer going to be friends. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not even going to repeat that on stream. If you guys want to know what he said, you have to
Said
watch
be
the VOD on
advised.
Twitch. It's yeah, he did say be advised. He said other things too. The other things are what I'm mad about.
Oh, you mean you don't like the fact that the Force is just?
Hey, what? What? Yeah. No. Anyways, yeah, less sports would be great, EA. Less sports, more Star
True
Wars.
that.
Put NHL on PC though,
Yeah.
then less sports.
Yeah, please do put NHL on PC. As
I
a
would play me
Canadian,
some NHL.
as a Canadian, it feels very unfair, and I'm sorry about it. But you know, I'm gonna have to say, EA, it feels like you're not treating us with the respect that we would like to request at the very least.
I feel like we pay them enough money in terms of game add-ons that they should give us something good.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe we have to pay to unlock their actual E3 reveals. That would make more sense coming from EA.
That would, yeah. Maybe after the conference, they were like, "We'll have a second conference with more information
push it up
if you guys pay
$20,
us
join the live stream,
$200 million right now."
and then we'll make some rubbish games.
Yeah, and then we'll tell you about the shit that we've got planned for you and all of the disappointment that you're ready to face. I'm just sad now. All right, so Bethesda. Yeti, take it away, because you have a lot to say here, I'm sure.
I had a lot to say when I watched it. My memories fade fast, but yeah, okay, probably because there was a bunch of different things, right? So a bunch of smaller things.
Yeah.
I think my big thing, which I was a little bit like, I'm not sure if I'm happy or if I'm not sure if it's not real, or was the fact that they announced Nuka World, because before E3, that document got leaked where it was like, oh, here are some things coming up, and it was like a Bethesda document, and Nuka World was on the list, and so was Elder Scrolls 6 Mod, and this was from like 2 years ago. So now that Nuka World has actually been announced, I'm sort of like, does this mean Wood maybe the next thing? But then they also said that Elder Scrolls wouldn't come out for like another few years, so I'm a bit unsure about that, whether that's a real thing. Because the main thing was saying it's going to be a few years because they don't have the resources to make what they want to make now, and they want it to be massive. And Wood isn't massive, so I don't know. I don't really know what the plan is there, but it was noteworthy for sure. I don't know what else was there. There was Skyrim Remaster, which means nothing to me. Well, okay.
It
means something.
We're on PC though. It literally means nothing.
Exactly.
We have mods that did
Yeah.
all of those things. We've had them
between
since
our mods and
Skyrim
shooters.
released, basically. Like it's a bunch of bullshit, and I'm not into it. Like it's sorry. This is one of my biggest gripes with Bethesda at E3. Anyways, they really fucked up by trying to pull off a Skyrim remaster. It's great for the people on the console. That's fantastic. But for the people on PC, it does nothing. So you, like, as a company, you've produced something that only helps a quarter of your audience. Because Bethesda's audience is largely on PC. So what the fuck? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And a quarter is not actually an
Yeah.
accurate figure, but you get the point.
Yeah, if they would have added some content with the remaster, I would have been more excited about it. But just remasters in general, I feel like, are not necessarily cash grabs, but it depends on what kind of, like, if they take like a game from like early 2000s and they do a remaster, that's pretty dope because then you're actually updating the graphics.
Yeah.
But when you're like, we're taking these pretty good graphics and making them really good graphics, like,
Yeah.
you're not adding much
Well-
and you're charging $60 for the same game.
They already had the standard edition, which was then followed with the legendary edition, which was then followed with the Game of the Year edition, and now they're doing the remastered edition. I don't need 4 versions of Skyrim.
Yeah.
I didn't
It's a good
need,
game, but not four
I-
times purchase.
I didn't need 3 versions of Skyrim. I only needed 1. you know, and
Yeah.
like for me, I bought it right away because I really enjoy the Elder Scrolls series and I was very excited about it. To try and get me to buy again is foolish, especially with something like this when on PC, as I said, we have mods that can do everything that they were saying that they were doing. If they released, and like, you will never hear me say this about any other game, but if they released a new DLC pack for it, I would have been more excited. Which is
Oh,
saying
that's the
something.
thing. At least on PC, it is free if you have the DLC on the game already, which is something. But still, though, because I know like probably the main point of it is more to pander to the console gamers. So at least they are making it free. Because I'm using that opportunity to because I never played any of the DLC, so I'm gonna use that opportunity now to buy all the DLC now and then play them, and then I'll get the remaster free at least. But still, though, it seems it's a bit of a waste of time for me, I think.
Well, it just feels like that's time they could have been putting into Elder Scrolls 6.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I hate that. Sorry, that train of logic that I just put forward is awful because it's different teams. But like, I still feel like, it takes away from something. And like, they also did the card game thing, and people are really pissed about the
Mhm.
card game because they're like, why were you doing this when you could have been putting more time into Elder Scrolls 6? And it's not how that works, because the team for the card game is a completely different team than the team that works on Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's like it.
Wait
Yeah.
until the Legendary Dragonborn Remaster Edition.
Yep. That's what you
With
want.
10% more dragons.
Yeah. Go good.
Just talk
10
of
10%.
dragons.
I don't know if you guys have been watching like Northern Lion play Skyrim for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In his latest episode, spoiler alert, or one of his latest episodes, I don't even remember which one it was, but like in one of his latest episodes, he goes up to the burial mound, and he for the second time he goes to the burial mound, and there's that second dragon spawn there, and
Yeah.
he and this guard kill his dragon, and the guard is like, "Have you heard? There's been another dragon attack in Kynesgrove this time." Yes, we're literally right
We're
here
just
standing
here.
over the corpse of this dragon. News travels fast. No, I don't know. It's a good game. It's a really good game. I just wish that they had released either more content for it or had put more time into Elder Scrolls 6. Though I think because they're saying that Elder Scrolls 6 is a few years out, they've got a lot to work on. Like, they maybe tried some concepts and they didn't work and they didn't flesh out. So, because it was in the document 2 years ago. I mean, like, to be fair, they've been planning it since Skyrim. So, like,
Yeah.
since 2011. So, it's 2016 now. That's 5 years ago. They've had 5 years to be working on it. That means that something has not worked for them with their initial concepts, which makes me think, to your point, Yeti, that maybe it's not going to be Valenwood. At least not yet.
Hmm.
Because it's possible that it still is, but to me, that says that something went wrong partway through the development phase. Maybe it didn't. Maybe they're just trying to work on story. Maybe they're just trying to, like, build a much huger world. Maybe we're going to be super excited about it when it comes out. But these are all things that we can't possibly know at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
When you get this little information.
Yeah. Which is another reason why companies should be telling us more when they're doing these things. I mean, to be fair, they have to retain some level of, secrecy with things so that people don't beat them to the punch with certain things. But, like, with the Elder Scrolls, like, I mean, you have such a huge fan base that was disappointed by them not announcing the Elder Scrolls 6, and to just say, oh yeah, it's like 3 or 4 years out, is kind of like, that hurts. And you didn't give any explanation other than that. Like, you could have said, like, we are very much working on the Elder Scrolls 6. It's very much a development in progress. Right now, we're not at the stage where we can show you gameplay, but here's just a little teaser as to what we're doing. We're going to be exploring this world, or like we're going to be You know, like they could have given us something. Instead, they didn't even talk about it in their main conference. They just skipped over it. This is like
Yeah.
I was talking to you guys beforehand where I was saying like I had issues with the presentation of E3 this year. This is the kind of things that I'm talking about. It's just like it seems like a lot of companies made some missteps in terms of just passing information on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we want to talk about Dishonored 2? Because we should definitely talk about Dishonored 2, since Yeti has over 900 hours in Dishonored 1.
You guys, my problem is with it is that I did a trailer, a gameplay, like in-depth overview type thing of the 12 minutes of gameplay before, and it's an hour and a quarter long. So I feel like I have a little bit too much to say, and that doesn't even cover like all of it. I have things that weren't relevant to that, so I'm gonna make a separate video talking about the other stuff.
God.
So my thinking was, if you guys want to talk, and then maybe I'll say some stuff that links to what you say. 'Cause there's quite a lot.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe we'll throw a link up to Yeti's video in the VOD. If not, I'll pull it up on here. Josh, why don't you tell me what your thoughts were on Dishonored 2 first of all, and then I'll pull Yeti's video up. Do you have it up already?
No, it's not up yet.
Not up
I did
yet.
it like before the show.
All right. Then
It should be up tomorrow.
Then in that case, we'll link it in the VOD. So,
But basically, I'm pretty excited, and I unfortunately have never even played Dishonored 1. I have it on this Xbox right here, right now. Just have never played it. But after seeing the footage from it, and just from hearing you guys talk about it like week after week, I think it's probably about time I finally start playing Dishonored.
I agree. It is definitely time you started playing it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Dishonored is one of my favorite games. Going into the Dishonored 2 trailer, I was expecting them to move worlds, basically. And they did. They literally did, which is actually very cool. So there's this like timepiece thing that you got. I'm sure you'll be able to explain this better than I can, so I'm not gonna go into it too much. But it's like it's a very cool new mechanic. You've got a new playable character. I really like the chaining ability, like the one where you can chain enemies together to have an effect.
Domino.
Yeah, domino. That's the one. Thank you. That makes sense. That's a very logical name for it. I really like that. I think it's really cool. I think they've really expanded a lot of what you could do in Dishonored 1, which is really nice because Dishonored did feel a little bit repetitive after your like 100th hour. I'm sure you felt that way, Yeti.
Yeah.
Like I put in about 150 hours into Dishonored 1 and I love it. It's one of my favorite games. I couldn't play anymore after that because I just felt like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's good though. I'm just happy to see that they've expanded a lot and that we're gonna see a new story too. I hope that the choices you make are actually meaningful this time though, rather than just getting a slightly different ending that doesn't really matter at all. Like in
Sounds
Dishonored,
like Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, talk about endings that don't mean much.
Yeah.
But
what color do you like? Blue explosions or red explosions?
Yeah, it's like this doesn't affect me at all anymore.
No.
After that point, with Dishonored, like you did see certain effects. Like if you did certain things, you'd see certain other things inhabit the world, or like there were effects, but it was hardly noticeable. I found. With Dishonored 2, it looks like
it was like more or less weepers depending on how many people you've killed, and then is the last level rainy or not? Pretty
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
There was a bit more than that, but
no, but that's like
the main gist of it.
That's pretty much it. And then there was like more plague rats and stuff like that. If like certain things, right? Like you made decisions that felt like they didn't really make a huge difference. They just slightly altered the environment. They were talking about it a little bit, and they did say like we're looking to expand a lot on what we did with Dishonored, so I'm hoping that's one of the aspects that they choose to expand with. But that's basically like that's my take on it. Like I'm just excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm very skeptical about a lot of it still, but that's just my stance on everything. So I think this is where the show will potentially get long. So Yeti, go ahead. Tell us your thoughts on Dishonored.
Right. I want to say stuff that I haven't already said in videos, so I think I'll talk about my skepticisms on it at the moment. So I think one of my very first opinions of it when I was when I was watching it was he has 4 powers unlocked in the gameplay reveal. At that point in the first game, he'd be about halfway through, and for halfway through, it didn't look overly difficult. Like he made it through pretty easily. And to be fair, he was talking about how there's like a ton of different ways you can go, and you can see that watching the trailer. You can see like other ways that he doesn't go. But even in like when he kills his target in the gameplay, he sort of just walks into the room, does the domino, and then like Shadow kills him, and it doesn't really seem like he had to do much to do that, which was a concern. Another concern was the whole thing of Emily getting her powers, and then you're gonna have to like if you're playing Emily, you go through the game and unlock them as you go. But then does that mean that Corvo's already going to start with all his powers if he already has them from the previous game? There's got to be a balance there.
My assumption is that you'll probably have to play with Emily first.
No, it's you choose at the start, and then you stick with that person for the whole game.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but like I was under the assumption that like you would have to unlock playing as Corvo.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because like then it's like Corvo would start with all of his powers, but then maybe so does Emily, and then maybe just the difficulty gets bumped up like, Dark Souls style. But I don't know. I have no idea. I'm interested to see how they handle that though, because you're right. He should have all of his powers, or at least he should have some of the basic ones. Because I mean, in Dishonored, you did have the choice to go through without using any powers, right?
Yeah.
I mean. Oh, one thing I really like about what they said with Dishonored 2 is that you can just tell the dude to piss off at the start, and then you just don't get your powers, and you just go in as like an assassin, which I think is pretty cool. I like that. I like that you can tell him to just kind of bugger off, because that's nice for me. I didn't ever I hated using powers. A lot of the time, like first few playthroughs, I was like, oh yeah, powers, awesome, really cool, wanted to do all of like the really cool stuff, and then I was just like, I wonder if I can do this just with my sword. And like I would go through and like try and specifically do it just with my sword, and that's one of the achievements you can get, and it was fun. I liked it. I liked doing it that way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes. But like, do you think that with Emily unlocking her powers, do you think that she's going to like have a different power set than Corvo, or do you think that they're going to have the same power set?
She does. There was an interview where someone spoke about it a while ago, some French name that I can't pronounce because Arcane's French. Right. But he spoke about it and he said Corvo is going to have pretty much the same set, like the same power set, and he's going to be the more sort of like he's older, he's a bit more brutal, a bit more violent, and then she's going to be the more finesse type character.
Okay.
So we obviously saw some of her abilities in the trailer.
Yeah.
In the gameplay they showed at E3, but Corvo is going to pretty much have the same ones. However, they have also said that they're going to expand a lot on the skill tree system. So although we'll have the same base like powers and stuff, I'd imagine there'll be a bit more to it than that. So I'm hoping Corvo will get some new stuff as well.
Okay. Well, that's good. I hadn't heard anything about that yet, just because like with the they didn't talk that much at the conference. They just kind of showed the footage, and they talked like very briefly. I hadn't heard anything before that, actually, other than that it was coming, because I'd kind of tried to abstain from watching it, and then they were starting to show the footage at E3, and I couldn't look away. So, it's, I don't know. I'm curious with Emily's powers in particular, like, why she gets them. You know, like I want to know the story stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how the trailer sort of shows like they're in the hole and then loads of people die, and then she picks up a ring, and then at some point she has a bandage on her hand, and then at some point she has the tattoo in the outsider world, because the outsider is a thing. So we know that he sort of gives the power, but there's this ring which we don't really know anything about yet, which she just sort of finds. But I don't know. I have a theory about it, which I have a video on that. I don't know. It's like a bit spoiler, but it's a theory, so it's also not spoiler.
Right.
So may hold up, but I don't know. Well, there's a lot at this point. Like I found myself in the breakdown a lot of the times. I was like, okay, I'd like to see where this goes. It'll be interesting to see how they handle this and stuff. Because I think we've had we had a fair bit. Like we had a decent amount of gameplay, and then they had like 3 minutes at the start when they were showing a bunch of random stuff, and then we had a new trailer at the end. So we have quite a lot, but there's still a lot which hasn't been spoken about. Like the plague dudes, there's this whole new plague type thing, and in the whole of E3, you see like one shot with a bunch of the bugs flying around, and then you see another shot near the end of the trailer where there's this Weeper-esque dude like screaming, and then a bunch of the bugs flying at you, and that's pretty much it. So up to this point, we thought this would be like an integral part, and we've seen like 4 seconds of gameplay total, including that. So I think there's still a lot for them to show us, which I actually like. I like that they're not showing everything at once. I like the holding off on stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But they did the right thing, and they showed us a bit of footage. They showed us a bit of gameplay. Yeah. They showed us a little bit, give us a taste, give us an idea for what we're getting into, without us having to jump in blind, which I really appreciated. I'm still bitter, if you haven't figured that out. I mean, I think, like, yeah, so you have a more in-depth video on that, so we can just direct people there. It'll be posted, I guess, the same time as the VOD. So if you're watching this on the VOD, you can check it out on Yeti's channel. I personally won't throw up a link to that, but if you're watching on Yeti's channel, you can. I'm sure he'll throw up an annotation. I'm giving him work now.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, so we've talked about EA and Bethesda, and it's been an hour. So I don't know. We should talk probably about like Microsoft and Sony. But do you guys like time constraints? Are you guys good to talk for a little while, or do you have stuff you need to get done?
Yeah, we can finish it up if you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
About an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah. I think that's probably about right. I'm a little bit concerned about timing, but whatever. We'll see what happens. So let's jump into Sony. I think we should finish on Microsoft. So Sony's. Did you guys have a chance to check out what they showed at the very least? If not,
just highlights.
Just highlights.
I saw Daryl Dixon in a game, which makes me excited.
All right.
Yo, if this plays one more freaking ad, I'm gonna kill myself.
All right, Yeti. What are your thoughts on Sony's presentation?
I don't remember what was Sony.
Cool.
At all.
PlayStation Morpheus was one of the things.
God of War, the new God of War.
New God of War, which they talked about taking story beats from an unused script for Underworld, which was a Star Wars series, which is pretty cool. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. The developer was like, yeah, so like some of the story beats are like they spawned from an idea that I had when I was checking out these scripts at Lucasfilm when I worked there. And it's like, okay, cool. It means nothing. It just means that there are some like similar story beats. It's like nothing that actually.
The characters are completely different. So.
Yes, it's not like you can get an insight into what happened in that Star Wars series by.
Oh my God! Anakin Skywalker is the God of War.
the series actually, just to talk about that for a moment, because I'm a Star Wars nerd. The Underworld series was about Emperor Palpatine.
Oh.
And how he was involved with this female gangster who basically chewed him up and spit him out. And that's kind of why he went down the dark path of becoming a Sith.
Huh.
So, yeah. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think
That's pretty
like
cool.
if not that we're talking about Star Wars still, but if Star Wars was to do a TV series, I would really hope that they wouldn't do that because I don't want to see anything to do with characters that are too close to the movies. But anyways, God of War looks pretty good actually. Like it's based on Norse mythology this time, which I think is
Oh wow.
awesome. It looks gorgeous. Um, yeah, I mean, like PlayStation has definitely improved their graphical ability, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Morpheus is coming out, which is really cool. And like as I said in pre-show, that is going to make VR a little bit more mainstream, and that's awesome. Um, and that made a lot of the VR that was happening at E3 make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I don't know, I don't have too much to say about Sony. That's kind of why I wanted to throw this one in here now, is
Yeah.
because like I thought it might be a little bit quicker. Um, Yeti was frozen on the best face there for a moment. I'm gonna screen cap
Was it
that. It
another
was.
high face?
You're gonna have to wait a moment to see the face that I just made on stream, but it'll be there. Yeah, but God, yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Morpheus in particular? I know like VR is not something like any of us have like any tangible experience with, but
No, it's actually cool. I'm actually like getting some some hands-on experience, like you said, because at the place I work, it's basically a building full of startup companies, and one of the dudes is
nice
actually a guy that's developing VR technology, which is really
very
cool because
cool
he comes over all the time to like have
barbecue.
us test out stuff. No, at barbecue as well, but
Yeah.
he also comes over and has us test out his like um Microsoft, what's that thing called? The Microsoft like I can't remember what it's called, but it's cool. And he's working on. He's not using it for gaming purposes. He's
HoloLens.
developing it. Yes, Hololens. Yep.
Sorry,
Um.
I waited to say that. I knew it right away, but I just wanted to interrupt you.
No.
But go on.
No. But no, he isn't developing it for gaming. He's developing it from like a professional standpoint. So like you
Hmm.
could use it to like do like virtual interviews with
Yeah.
people if they can't make it out to you. So instead of like if you had an interview in like Chicago, instead of driving to Chicago, you could both put on your VR and it creates this virtual environment like you're in a office setting, and then they can interview you through that setting. Or he's working with like the people with like the 360 cameras and bringing them to like professional lectures or speakers. So then you could put on your VR helmet after that, and then listen to the speaker, and then have a virtual networking event after. So he's doing it from a more like professional standpoint, but it's still really cool. But the PlayStation VR thing, yeah, it's a little, it's cool. It's kind of I don't see it being. Do they say when they plan on doing any sort of release with it, or
It's 2017, I think.
2017? I mean, that's pretty close. That's closer than I would have thought, but I didn't get to see any. Do they do any sort of gameplay or anything with it to show
They
it
did.
working, or?
I don't remember if they did in the actual conference. I know there was at the show though.
Oh,
Like it works, which is good. They did a lot of optimization stuff. They didn't talk about how they did their optimization stuff, which means that they're trying to keep it a secret, which
yeah.
is fine. Honestly, that's not a problem. I'm content with them doing that as far as maintaining company secrets and everything. But it, like from what people have been saying, it looks really good.
Mm,
Like you know that it's like it's not PC graphics, but like it's still really good. So like for people to be saying it's really good is very impressive. Apparently it's a lot more lightweight too, the headset, and like the headset is
oh,
like
cool.
a lot more comfortable apparently. So that's nice to hear. Um I don't know. I'm excited to see more of what they do with it as time goes on, but yeah. Like I think it looks pretty good. And like I don't know, I don't have a PlayStation. I probably won't have a PlayStation, so I'm not exactly
Yeah,
too worried about it.
same.
But if I don't have room for a Vive, I probably won't have room for a Morpheus anyway, so God, I still can't believe a Vive is fucking 1,200 Canadian dollars. So upsetting. Ugh. I don't know. I think it's good. Like Sony had like a lot more of a like we're exclusive type of conference though, and like they were like less consumer friendly. I think this year, which is hilarious because last year it was like they were the consumer friendly one, and they were like basically toting how much better they were than Microsoft, and then Microsoft this year was like, we are consumer friendly, and Sony is not, which is hilarious. It's just like a complete reversal from last year. Speaking of though, do you guys want to talk about Microsoft?
I can speak about Microsoft for sure. That's the one I was most excited about.
All right. Well, why don't you get us started then?
So that was like the only. Well, I didn't get to watch any of the conferences because I just didn't have time. But this is the one that I got the most highlights from. Most people like sending me stuff from mainly the new Xbox system that they're rolling out, which
The Slim or the Scorpio? The Scorpio
well,
is Project
I didn't get
Scorpio, I guess. But
yeah, I didn't get to see a ton about Project Scorpio. I saw mostly the Slim stuff, which is essentially a new Microsoft console that's more lightweight, and I believe the Slim is more powerful and has 2 terabytes of memory instead of the traditional like whatever they put in there, not even a terabyte usually,
yep.
which is pretty dope. They also are doing like some controller customization type stuff, which
Yes.
like it's cool. You can get your you can get your controller customized to basically whatever you want, like any I don't know. I
Color
mean, I'm sure there's
combination.
limits, but color combinations, which is cool. Better than the standard, white and or I think I got a black with black. Basically, the whole thing's black.
Yeah.
So there's not much excitement with the current controller. So it'd be cool to get your own custom controller. The thing I think was the coolest that I saw during that same conference was the whole Play Anywhere, Xbox Play or Microsoft Play Anywhere, whatever they
Yeah.
call it, where essentially you can buy a game for this is only for like certain titles, but you can buy
Yeah.
a game on your Xbox One and play it on PC if you own it on Xbox One. You can because they're on a shared Microsoft and Microsoft Windows. You can basically play them wherever you want, which I think is awesome because that was a big issue they've had over the past, especially after the Xbox One came out with lack of user friendliness, especially with regards of like playing games. And so the ability to play on multiple devices, I think, is awesome, especially as someone who's like converted to a PC gamer pretty much primarily. It's cool to be able to have the copy that I can play on my Xbox if I want to play with friends on Xbox Live, but then if I want to play just for fun, I can play on my PC. I think that's pretty cool.
I agree. Now that it is important to note that that is on Windows 10 and Xbox.
Yes.
And it's within the Xbox store that you can have your copy. So you can't just like it's not like a Steam copy or anything like that. It's an Xbox gaming copy, which is completely
Yeah.
fine. It is a PC version of the game. It's just accessible via your Xbox gaming on Windows 10, which is honestly like I don't if that's the compromise I have to make for that, then I'm fine with, like I mean for me it doesn't matter. I don't have an Xbox One, so it doesn't matter. But for the people that it does matter for, that is fantastic. Like that is a really good move. I think Microsoft made the right move doing that, which is something I didn't think I would be saying at this time last year. But it's good. I think they made a really smart choice with that. So yeah, with Microsoft, they mostly talked about their Xbox consoles, and then they talked about a very particular game, which I'm very excited for, except for one small, tiny little, minuscule detail that unfortunately is a big
Yeah.
hindrance. Which, if you guys have watched my Bear Perspective video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's Sea of Thieves, which is a pirate game, which is awesome. I love pirates. It's where you crew a ship with your friends. It's very much based on communication and coordination, and you have to do things like raise and lower the anchor. You have to raise and lower the sails. You have to steer properly. You have to communicate where you're going because the sails can block your view as someone who's driving the ship. So other people have to be communicating what's ahead of you. You can play music in sync with each other, which is really cool. And I think that boosts morale or something, but I don't know exactly what
Hmm.
that does. You can fire cannons right now in the it's like a pretty early alpha right now what they have running, but right now there's ship battles and very little else. But you can also drink a ton of grog and then sway from side to side when you walk and make things really blurry if you want to. Um, there's not very much I don't think there's any melee combat right now, or like person to person combat, but it
Yeah.
looks really good. My biggest complaint is that it is a Windows 10 and Xbox exclusive. And at the show, they were touting it as a PC and Xbox exclusive, which, um, if you want to hear my thoughts on why that's wrong, um, you can watch my bare perspective video on it, because I basically rip on Microsoft for claiming that it's PC when it's just Windows 10,
Yeah.
because that's bullshit. And also, it was really unclear at the conference that it would be only Windows 10. And so people were starting to be like, "Oh, this is totally a title that could be on Linux because it's very manageable, and like it's in an engine that makes sense for that." No, it's Windows 10 exclusive. So yeah, and that makes sense for Microsoft. I get it because it's a Microsoft title, but also, why not have it on Windows 7 for fuck's sake? Or even Windows 8. I don't like if I have to upgrade to Windows 8, okay, like I get it. I'm going to have to upgrade to Windows 10 eventually, but I've been putting it off because like my software for like most of my gaming stuff does not work on Windows 10. Because I jumped to Windows 10 when it first
Yeah.
came out to test it out, and a bunch of my shit didn't work. And I've been constantly keeping an eye on which drivers of mine still won't work, and the ones that don't work still don't work there. So like, I still can't upgrade to Windows 10 if I want to keep my workflow going. So I'll either have to buy new hardware, or um, basically wait until the software developers for that hardware make it work for me, which is really dumb. And unfortunately, Windows 10, the free upgrades are ending on July 29th. So if I don't get money,
Mm.
or, like get my setup going, or if the software isn't updated by then, I'm shit out of luck, which
Hmm.
is really annoying, basically.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And like, I want to play that game. I am actually considering upgrading to Windows 10 for that game, which
Can
is
you
a
like reserve an upgrade or something? Because I don't want to actually upgrade, but I'd like to have it be free if
yeah.
I ever decide I want to.
I don't know, honestly. I think you actually have to do the upgrade by that time. I don't. I honestly can't tell
Okay.
you exactly what the details are. I just know the date because I looked it up because I wanted to figure my shit out. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on Sea of Thieves?
I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, so
The trailer's
To see
online,
it.
man. Just check out the
I'll look it
trailer.
up right now.
Do that.
Yeah, what you said really. Because I had heard of it before, but I'd never really looked into it. Saw the trailer and was like, "Yo, this looks really good," and then
Mm-hmm.
didn't really do much beyond that. And then you said before the show, "Oh yeah, it's Windows 10," and now it's out of my brain. I've pushed it out,
Would you say that you're
kicking it out of my brain residence.
Would you say that you're feeling a little bit salty?
Yeah, that's. I'd say I'm feeling a little bit salty.
Yeah, me too. I
In
like
general, I think pirates are pretty dope, so I think I'll be excited for this.
I think we should all crew a ship when it comes out. Is what I think.
I don't want Windows 10 though. I don't like change. I like Windows 8.1,
I'm
Yeah,
rocking
and
Windows 10.
that's it. I'm done.
I've been on
Done with
Windows
Windows 10.
7 since Windows 7 was a thing. And I will be very sad to go to Windows 10, but I've used it before and it's fine. Like it's not a huge change, which is nice. Um I don't know. It's like okay. is what I'll say about it. Like, it's an okay operating system. Like, it's not a bad operating system. I just hate being forced to upgrade to it. And like,
Yeah.
I had like my computer, like I straight up lost footage this week. Like my channel has been sparse this week because of Windows fucking automatically upgrading to Windows 10 on me, but I have my file system set up so that it can't actually upgrade. Because like I have my like all my videos and my documents and everything on my storage drive, and I have it mapped there, so that Windows doesn't actually know how to handle that when it tries to upgrade, which is fine. Like I didn't do it specifically to like fuck with Windows 10 upgrades, but it unfortunately I was working on some projects and I just straight up lost like probably about 3 hours of footage, which is really annoying.
Yo, this game looks dope. I really like the art style.
Yeah, right? Like it looks really good.
It reminds me of like a kind of like a Zelda Wind Waker, but a little bit nicer.
Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely getting Wind Waker vibes from it. I was also like very much getting like Assassin's Creed Black Flag combat from it a little bit, but then I was like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it looks so much more difficult, and I'm like, that is really exciting. I'm really excited for more difficult sea-based combat. Like apparently, like I was watching some videos about people who were playing it, and they were saying that for a lot of the combat, you have about 3 to 4 seconds of pass time when you're taking your shots, and then it takes about a minute to turn around and take your next pass. So like in that time, the enemy can try and repair their ship, right?
Yeah.
And so like it's apparently a little bit slower combat and it's a little bit more difficult, but there are more like once you're like a better crew, it becomes easier to do like hard turn maneuvers where like you drop the anchor and swing the hard turn, and you know you can kind of turn, but it might do a little bit of damage to your ship if you over pull and things like that. It's like they've got some pretty cool mechanics going in. So like there's the opportunity for like some really really good crews to just make that turnaround time that was about a minute drop to about 25 seconds. I should have just said 30 seconds because that's half of a minute, but I didn't. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It looks like there's a lot of opportunity for some really strong team-based gameplay, as well as like you can search islands and stuff like that for treasure. But they said that's coming. It's not there yet, but like I'm excited. There's also apparently going to be sharks in the water.
Nope, never. No, not gonna get the game then. Sorry. You lost me there.
Really? That fucks with you, huh?
I will not touch it if there's. I don't even like swimming in Minecraft water because there might be squids that are swimming around, and they don't even touch you. Freaking sharks in games. Get my. I had to. What Call of Duty game was it that had a mission that was in the underwater, and you had to like go through the sunken ship with the sharks? Do you know, Yeti? Was that
Ghosts.
Ghosts?
Had an underwater one.
Yeah. Had to hand that one off to my brother and have him beat the level for me because I would have defecated all over the place. I can't do sharks in games
Hey,
or in real life, actually.
You know what? Then just never fall in the water.
That's a good point. Here's what would happen: is
Like-
I'd be playing on my PC,
Yeah.
and then we would be like in a battle, and the ship would rock, and I would fall off, and then I would touch my power button on my PC as fast as I could.
I'm so excited
are
for
on
you to
your
play this
own.
game now. This is like, you realize that now you've said this, we actually
That's
have
my
to play this
worst.
game, and we actually
my
have to throw
worst.
you overboard.
That is my worst fear.
Have you played Far Cry 3?
Nah.
Okay.
Are there sharks?
Yeah.
There's sharks, yeah.
Yeah, nah, not gonna get it.
No, I don't know, like, for sure if there are going to be sharks. They were saying that, like, in the renders they were initially doing, they were having sharks, but they were having some trouble balancing it, so. Yeah, I don't know. So you may be okay. Just wait for the development
Okay.
team to tell you that there are or are not sharks, but also buy the game regardless and play with us regardless so that we can throw you overboard if there are, and Like,
Well, think about it.
I mean, by the time it comes out, you're gonna have the proper beard to be like a proper pirate. So
That's true. I will be Josh Beard the pirate by the time that comes
yeah,
out. I'll be, but I'm also scared of sharks. But we'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get over it.
awesome. I'm excited. I'm like, I want to have a proper crew for this game. Like, I actually really
Yeah.
want to play this game with like a good amount of people. Someone play the Jaws theme.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Did you watch Jaws?
Oh, that's why do you think I'm like this?
Okay.
Of course I watched Jaws,
Yeah.
and I went to freaking, was it Orlando Studios? I think they have a
Yeah,
Jaws themed
Universal.
ride. I went there when I was like 8,
Yeah.
and my parents had me sit on the edge of the boat where
Oh,
this mechanical shark comes up and comes at you.
yeah.
He shoots
I
it.
still have nightmares.
You'll be
Yeah.
happy
Do
to
it.
know it's gone.
Yeah.
Wait, they got rid of that ride?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got rid of it now.
Thank God.
Did you
That
know
was the worst experience of my life.
it came up close enough to me when I was a kid that I punched it when it
Oh,
came out.
I could have patted it on its nose.
Yeah.
I could have got my arm ripped off. I mean,
I-
it doesn't actually eat you, but
I
it's terrifying.
straight up punched it in the nose when it jumped up because I was terrified and my initial reaction was to punch it. And I'm like,
I was too busy defecating myself to do anything about it, so.
oh, the defecation came after for me, but like it was- I punched it and then I was like all over the floor. Yeah, exactly. No.
Mm.
See, Jurassic World or like Jurassic Park for me was the ride that really fucked with me there.
The T-Rex. Oh, even like the
So
Velociraptors
good.
inside are freaky.
Yeah, just the noise. The
Yeah.
that was a horrible impression, but you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
They've changed that a bit too. The
Yeah.
T-Rex before you drop used to like jump out. It doesn't do that anymore. It just stays there because people kept
That was a
jumping in
cool
their
one.
seats and nearly like sliding out and dying. Something.
God.
They're like, because they kept seeing people jump and they're like, oh, this is a little bit dangerous. Let's like just have it so you see it when they come around the corner so they can jump first and then drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one's dope. I like that ride. That's a good ride.
it's a really good ride.
The Jaws one, nah, get me out of here.
You know, I've spent like most of my vacations at Disneyland, and so like occasionally we'd go over there, right? But like Disneyland, the Indiana Jones ride, the first time they did those like the air darts part, I don't know like if you guys have been on it, but like there's a part where they like shoot air out at you and it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
the darts that are flying across.
Darts are coming.
Straight up, like there was a fly or something sitting on the thing. I got hit right in the face with a fly, and I just freaked out so hard. It was absolutely awful. Like I actually thought I had been hit in the face with a dart, and I was so upset. I'm like, I'm gonna die. It's like I was like 6 at this point, right? And so like yeah, I was having a bit of a freak out. I don't know.
That's funny.
Disneyland, like that is something that like I can't wait for Star Wars Land to be a part of Disneyland.
Yeah, boy.
You can tell where my head is at lately. It's all Star Wars. But like I don't know. When like have you guys been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Is the land the one in California?
Yes.
I've been
No.
there. I've not been to Disney World though.
I've been to World.
Okay. I have not been to World. So Disneyland, like they also have California Adventure, which is like
Yeah.
California Screaming. Have you been on that roller coaster?
Mm-mm.
You don't like roller coasters?
I love roller coasters,
Okay.
but I've never been to that place.
Ah,
I
okay.
only went to Disneyland.
All right, yeah. So it's like awesome, is what I would say. Highly recommend it. If you have a chance to go back, you should. It's like it's real good. I don't know. Like I've been to like Disneyland more than anywhere else in the world, unfortunately, other than my home.
Oh, really?
But like, yeah, like
I actually live at Disneyland.
yeah, it's not a bad choice. They have really good food
No.
there. If you can afford it, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yep.
Honestly, like I, and they still have a rainforest cafe there, which makes me super
Oh, really?
jealous. Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. Like we used to have one out in like Burnaby, which is like kind of close to Vancouver. It was one of the greatest dining experiences ever as a kid. Because it was like there was like gorillas, like mechanical, like animatronic gorillas that would just occasionally go, and like
Better enjoy that burger.
Yeah, like it was great, and like I would always like try and get the seat by the elephant because like every like 5 minutes it would just like do its thing. It was great. Yeah, I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
dope.
I miss it, and like so whenever I go down to Disneyland, like most exciting part of it for me is Rainforest Cafe. Not even the rides, not even like the actual proper Disneyland part. Just get me into Rainforest Cafe, and I am a happy camper. I don't know.
I'll have to go there sometime.
You should. You absolutely
I
should.
like you should if you like roller coasters, you should go to Cedar Point in I think it's in Cedar Rapids, Ohio. It's some part of Ohio. It's like northern Ohio. That's my favorite theme park of all time. They have the dopest roller coasters ever.
You know what? If I get down to Ohio, I absolutely will.
Do it. You will not regret it. They have, I think, the world's third tallest and fastest, maybe second. I can't remember. I know the fastest is in California.
Yeah.
This might be the second fastest.
Have you been to Canada's Wonderland in Toronto?
Um, I've
Neither
never
have
been
I.
out of this.
You haven't been out of US?
Never been out of the USA.
You should try it sometime.
I'm a unprivileged scumbag
You
though.
should come visit. Come to Vancouver.
I could do it. I want to go to Vancouver.
You should.
I want to go to Canada. It's 10 degrees Celsius there.
Yeah, it's raining.
27 here.
It's raining. Yeah, right now. It's beautiful. This is like
I wish
perfect
I-
weather.
Not a cloud in the sky. 700 degrees. It's nice.
Man, no, like actually though, if you do come out here, we'll like actually head over to the island and get you some proper waffles.
Some proper waffles.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that sentence.
No, just accept it as it is. You're welcome. Yeah, no, but seriously, you should do it. It's great here. I love it here. It's great. I love traveling too. So like I want to go and like check out the rest of the world, but I can't imagine living anywhere else, honestly. It's yeah.
Canada seems dope.
It's pretty nice. We got a prime minister who's like pretty chill. He falls downstairs every now and then.
Does he like do drugs or something?
No.
I can't remember what I read about it. I thought he like loves weed.
Well, like on 420, he announced that next year they were making it legal. So
Oh.
I don't know.
So he gets it.
He understands. He
That's
does.
funny.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't partake, but Vancouver is like the central location for all that shit because like there's the art gallery and that's like right downtown, and there's always people with their signs like equal rights for marijuana users, and it's like, dude, you're still a human being. Like, you have the same rights as everybody else. Like, you do have equal rights. You seem to have missed that part. We also don't have the right to smoke weed. Like, that's not how that works. Just because it's illegal and you choose to do it doesn't mean we have more rights than you. But regardless, they're lovely individuals and they're actually pretty nice people. But it's yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think like Vancouver, there's a lot of weed here. There's a lot of people who smoke, and there's a lot of people who grow
There's a
here.
lot of weed.
There's this. I can't even remember what the island. I think it's like Anarchist Island or whatever. It's kind of just off of-
Anakins?
Anarchist
Island?
Anarchist. So it's like
You underestimate my power.
you underestimate my weed is more like it, because all they do is grow there. Basically, it's a warehouse district, but it's like some of the warehouses have been like bought out by people who are straight up just growing pot.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I live in a great place. But yeah.
Weed every day.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just singing a song.
Yeah. Go for it. As long as we don't get
That's the
Con
only
and
line.
ID matched, I don't care.
I mean, it's pretty accurate, but that's the only line I know, so.
Oh. So, anyways, yeah, Sea of Thieves. It's, I I mean, I imagine they would
Sea of
go too.
weeds.
Yeah, Sea of Weeds. I would love it if there was more pirate themed rides at Disneyland. They have like the Pirates of the
Yes.
Caribbean thing, but it's like you're on a small boat and you go through a grotto.
Yeah.
The rides aren't what make Disneyland interesting for me. I should note that Disneyland is not an exciting place if you want to go on good rides. California Adventure is much better, but like Disneyland itself, it's themed rides. Like it's great for kids because it's like, oh, you've
Yep.
seen this movie, enjoy this ride that has to do with this movie. It's great for people who like, oh, like I remember this from my childhood, I want to go check it out. But like the rides are not very exciting. Disneyland is exciting for me because of the food that's there and because of the experiences you can have in the individual lands. So like when Star Wars Land comes out, there's going to be cantinas that you can go into where they will just play that same song over and over again. And
Yep.
they'll occasionally have a droid walk in and the bartender will say, "No droids." And it's like, hey, that's from that movie that we all love. You know,
I saw that.
it's gonna be those experiences, and that's why I like Disneyland. Like, I mean, even just like
Yeah, it's-
Frontierland, where they have like the that one restaurant where they have the show going on all the time, right? Like,
Yeah, no, that's kind of the way in Florida. They have Universal Studios, and then right next to it they have Islands of Adventure, where Universal's all these theme rides. A lot of them are superheroes, but there's like you said, it's all theme rides. Even like the waiting lines are all themed. Like the cave you go through is all themed for whatever ride you're going to be going on.
Yep.
But then Islands of Adventure is more roller coasters and water rides, and like your typical theme park. I like the theme rides better because I think they're dope.
I like theme rides because I think they're just like I can relate to them. I've watched
Yeah.
this movie or I have enjoyed this subject. Like that's why I'm going on the ride. Or maybe I'm curious about it and that's why I want to check it out.
Yeah.
Right? Like I hadn't seen the Nightmare Before Christmas, but they did that like Nightmare Before Christmas haunted house thing one year. And so like I went in that with my family and I was like, this movie might actually be pretty good. I'll check it out. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. But like
Yeah.
I also really like roller coasters though. So it's a bit of a problem. Like we have Playland here, Playland and the PNE. The PNE is like a fair and Playland is like a bunch of rides that are attached to the fair.
Uh-huh.
And there's this old rickety wooden roller coaster and it's great. It's terrifying, not because the ride itself is like
Think it's
super
gonna
fast or
snap at
anything.
any second?
Yeah, it's terrifying because you could die at any moment. And it's great. I love it. And then they have like their new like I think they call it the Red Rocket or something like that, but it's just like this super fast, tons of loops, newer roller coaster, and that's pretty cool too. And then they have a pirate ship that sways back and forth that just makes you feel sick, and it's great. It's like your classic fair rides, but like it's good. Like that's kind of what we got out here though, like as far as locally for roller coasters and stuff, which is a bit disappointing. But then like we also have like a bunch of zip lining and like a bunch of bungee jumping and skydiving stuff out here because like that's where we live, and we have like skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that. So people are kind of like, do we really need roller coasters when we can just hurtle ourselves down a mountain? The answer is no, unless it's summer, because then we can't hurtle ourselves down the mountain unless we have a bike, in which case we still will hurtle ourselves down the mountain. So I don't know. I live in a very outdoorsy place.
Yeah, we have Alton Towers, but since it's lost a bit of rep recently, since one of the rides crashed and like 4 people died and 2
Oh
people
my
lost
God.
legs and stuff, so it's
I
not
love
been doing so
roller
hot
coasters.
recently.
All right, I'm never going on a
Yeah.
ride again ever. That's it. That was it. I'm done. No more.
I am hoping to go in summer because it's gonna be dead now. There's gonna be no one there, and there's just
Yeah,
gonna be an empty.
I'll say it's gonna be dead.
Awesome.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It was originally like a castle and a bunch of fields, so they've built it around this castle, It's pretty cool.
That's pretty
If you,
awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
That also terrifies me though because it feels like there's more of a chance that I'll die at a theme park like that.
Well, if you're going to a theme park, you're thrill seeking anyway, right? If you're going to go on coasters, it's just more thrill.
I guess so. I don't know. I feel like I have
It's
less of
extra
a chance
points in.
of dying bungee jumping though than I have of going on a roller coaster. And like I really do like roller coasters. I like them a lot. It's not so much for the adrenaline, just because I like going fast. Like, yeah, if I could drive that fast, I wouldn't have any need for roller coasters. But pesky speed limits don't really allow me to do that.
Speed. Jeez. Who are they saving? Am I right? Probably a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if you ask Germany, no one.
Yeah. We can jump on that Autobahn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on whether speed limits actually save lives or not. Because part of me says, of course they don't, and part of me is like, of course they do.
Those dudes that are going like 150 probably are gonna die. But
Yeah.
they're gonna go 150 anyway. So
Just so we're clear, you are talking miles per hour there, not kilometers.
light years per second.
Yeah. Okay. Doing the Kessel Run? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Doing the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, which is definitely not a measurement of distance in the Star Wars universe. It's a measurement of time.
Sounds like a Chinese dish to me.
Parsecs?
In fact, I'm gonna get Chinese food after that. I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, can I get some General Tso's chicken, crab burger, and a side of parsecs? Can we work that out?
See, parsecs to me sounds like a spice.
It does kind of.
Yeah.
Go easy on the
I'm
parsec.
hearing like
Yeah.
parsecs, like mediocre intercourse.
Parsecs. That's great.
That's what came to mind.
Or like in a park.
You have
Or in
to
a park.
finish up by golf clapping though. Once you're done, just good session.
Yep. That's like, yeah. It's not all fast speed in Germany. Yeah, that's true. I was just talking about the Autobahn in particular. And honestly, like, I mean, Victoria out here is like super laid back, and the speed limits are not really a reflection of that at all because you can drive super fucking quick. So being laid back doesn't necessarily mean slow speed. That's all I'm saying. But everyone there, quote unquote, lives on island time, which basically means if you show up late to something, that's expected, which I find incredibly frustrating and infuriating. But, whatever.
Oh, not cumin again. Not coming. Oh God, bring it back. Dude, I love coming on stuff, I mean cumin. My bad.
I hate you.
So did anyone say "We Happy Few" at E3? That looks really good.
Do what?
We happy few.
Looks like a good game. I think we should talk about it on this podcast.
What
Yeah,
about-
you want to put cumin all over it? Is that what you're saying here?
I would play it.
We Happy
We'll see how
Few.
good it is first.
We Happy Few
Like
actually
a
does look
feel.
interesting. Like it does actually look like a pretty solid game. It creeps me out a little bit, which I mean I think is fair given the art style and everything. But like, I don't know. I'll probably play it.
Sweet.
I doubt I'll spice
Me
it
too.
with cumin though. What are your thoughts on it, Josh? Have you seen it or are you looking it up right now?
Tell me the name. I will watch it right now.
We Happy Few.
We Happy Feet?
Few.
We Happy
If there's
Few.
a game, hold on. If there's a game that releases as We Happy Feet and it's just you're playing as the penguin in VR dancing, I'm in. This is the new age of VR.
Just based on the thumbnail, I'm not gonna like this game. That's creepy clowns.
Yeah.
Oh
it is.
God, what is this?
It is really creepy.
What is this?
That face.
I'm just watching Josh's face now. I don't even care what's happening. I'm just watching his face. This is great. Yeah, that's good.
I don't like mimes. What is she doing? Is she gonna kill him? Oh, don't kill him, please. Oh, don't kill him. Oh, don't kill him. I don't like it. What the heck am I watching? What's he doing to the little boy?
That little boy.
So for those
But
of
he
you who
put the
are
mask
interested,
on.
for those of you who are interested, you can check out the trailer. I'm not going to be showing it because of copyright issues, but Josh's face says it all. So,
It is on Steam.
the-
You can look at the trailers on Steam.
yeah. This is great. This is perfect content. I love this. This is your very first PlaycrastiNation Reacts.
It's like freaking Half-Life.
There'll be a
No,
question
get outta
time
here.
shortly.
This is great. Side quest, I'm not
like
answering that question.
No. I can't. This is like Half-Life. I can't have another game where the freaking police come after you with creepy masks.
You doing okay there, bud?
That wasn't a pinata.
No, it wasn't.
And that sums up that trailer.
That scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, he hit the big blood everywhere. What the? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Will not be purchasing said game, but it looks kind of interesting.
Yeah. You'll probably watch someone else play it and then immediately close your eyes whenever something bad happens. Yeah.
That's probably what we're looking at. That sent chills up my spine. I don't
Yeah.
like people with creepy face paint.
I think that's something that we can all agree on. People
What would happen if you stumbled across a shark wearing creepy face paint? What happens then?
I think the heart just stops at that point.
What if
Like it loses. I think it loses the will to live.
what if it's a person wearing creepy face paint that is in the shape of a shark?
Yeah, you know, like the Super Bowl halftime show with Katy Perry when she had those dancing sharks that everybody made fun of.
Everyone remembers
can't-
Left Shark.
Yeah, I cowered in fear from Left Shark, so
Yeah.
I was actually cowering in fear from Katy Perry, but we don't talk about that.
This is fair. Side quest, what I actually said to you was I'm not answering that question. So you didn't
What
miss
happened
anything when
to
it was
the-
buffering.
What happened to the? Okay, I'm all caught up on chat now. I got a little distracted by that what am I saying? Horrible, terrible game.
I mean, we don't know if the game is any good or not.
It's not gonna be Resident Evil 7's gonna be spoopier though.
Resident Evil 7 looks good.
It looks spoopy, and I'm not playing it.
I will watch people play it. I will not play it
Yes.
myself.
The day that a freaking horror game appears on my channel is a sad day in hell.
So
I mean, cold day.
so when are you playing Slenderman?
Last week. No, that's the first. That's like the only horror game I've ever played, and that's why I will never play another one.
Yeah. That's
And Five
understandable.
Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
Playing. I just can't do the jump scares.
Yeah.
Can't do jump scares.
Yeah. See, BioShock had more jump scares for me than most horror games that I've played. So, I don't know. And like not Infinite so much, but like the original BioShock and BioShock 2 had a ton of jump scares for me. Infinite was like pretty chill. I mean, it wasn't like it was the definition of not chill in a game, but like as far as jump scares go, it was pretty chill. I don't know. Resident Evil though looks like they're kind of departing from the shit that they put out last time, so I'm excited
Yeah.
about that. I don't have that much more to say about any of the stuff from E3 because like I said my piece on Sea of Thieves and I don't know enough about Dishonored to jump into that more.
Yeah.
So
I guess we should just mention that Nintendo did reveal the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which looks really
Yes.
cool. And they gave some gameplay footage from Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it looks like they dumbed down the game a lot, which I don't like, but the
Yeah.
game itself looks really good.
It looks very pretty.
Yeah, but the mechanics, they've been like continually making the games easier and easier and easier, and like that, like the newest thing that they showed in the gameplay that really bugged me was you can, if you're in the battle with someone, you can look at your moves and it will tell you whether or not something is super effective, normally effective, not very effective, or doesn't affect your opponent. So you know, if you don't even know what your opponent's typing is, you can be like, oh well, this move's super effective, I'll just use that. And like some of the hardest and but most fun part of playing Pokemon as a kid was going into a battle and having no idea what the type of the Pokemon you're facing was and just trying stuff. And then slowly over time you'd be like, oh, Sandshrews a ground type. That's why water was effective. I get it now. And they're like they're taking it away because there's like so many Pokemon now that for a new kid to come into play and learn the types of 750 Pokemon's kind of difficult. But, you know, stop coddling the next generation.
Yeah. I mean, that frustrates me. I actually hadn't seen the footage for Sun and Moon yet, so I wasn't fully prepared to talk. But now that you've said that, fuck that.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
obnoxious.
like that, like the whole point of Pokemon is it's a strategy RPG.
Yeah,
Like it is a
it
turn-based.
takes out the
It
it
is a
takes out the
turn-based
competitive
strategy.
aspect of it.
Like, why would you? Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever tell someone what's effective? That's like,
Yeah.
that's like saying, oh, you want easy mode? Let me give you super
Yes.
easy mode.
Like if there was an if hopefully there's an option that you can turn that on and off because that's just going to be obnoxious. Because you're going to have people doing like Nuzlocke challenges or whatever. That's like, oh no, I don't know what this Pokemon is. Let me go through every Pokemon's moveset and see what I have that's effective against it. Like that's boring to watch. Just freaking go for it,
Yeah, yeah,
or just learn it in your brain.
yeah. I mean, that's what your brain is for. I mean,
Yep.
we're not memorizing phone numbers anymore, so memorize Pokemon.
I, someone asked me for my dad's phone number the other day. I couldn't even give him that because I don't have it memorized. I just have it in my phone.
I just set up an RSP and a TFSA, and I had to remember my mom's phone number because she's the beneficiary on them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I had to sit there for like 3 minutes. Just kind of like,
Let me think for you.
I have no idea.
That was an interesting hiccup.
Yeah. I thought that you were just making a noise. But, all right.
Someone was watching Jurassic Park in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding, eh? Exactly.
Dude, I hate that frilly little lizard. That's the scariest one.
Is it because he killed Newman?
Yeah. No, I hated that fat guy. But no, it's just the I don't like it.
Yeah, that's understandable. It is terrifying. Yeah, the Legend of Zelda game looked real good though, eh?
Yes.
Like, I'm more excited for that, I think, than most of the Pokemon stuff, which
Yeah.
I like Pokemon a lot. And I would say that I probably like Pokemon more than I like The Legend of Zelda. This is not the time to say that though, because the Legend of Zelda game looked real good and the Pokemon games looked okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm still really pumped about some, like I didn't even buy X and Y. I probably will buy a 3DS and buy Sun and Moon because I think they look better than X and Y. But I don't know. I was more excited before the whole gameplay trailer showed how easy it can be at times. I'm still excited, but it also like people are like really scared right now because the map looks extremely tiny just based on what they showed, and like basically like the whole thing's split up into 4 islands, which would mean there's 2 gyms per island, and each island is like this big. So if the region's actually that small, I'm gonna be upset, but maybe they'll surprise us. I don't know. I'm not as excited for Pokemon as I was, but I still am. After seeing the Legend of Zelda one, that is probably what I'm most excited for right now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think with the Pokemon like area, I wouldn't be surprised if like that's your starting area. Like if it's
Yeah.
just like the islands are small-ish and you start on each of them and then you go off to the mainland or something
Yeah.
like that, you know? Like or like an island floats out from under the water and pulls a Mario on you, and you have to
Yeah.
go to the princess is in another
Yeah.
castle.
Some people are theorizing that you go back to, I think the last region from X and Y was called like the Kalos region or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
And apparently you didn't get to explore all of the region in X and Y. You got to explore like a lot of it, but there was like a portion of it you never got to see. So some people are like, oh, I wonder if the islands are on the other edge of that, and then you do the
Right.
islands and then go back to, like, and then you like replay X and Y kind of like a gold silver going back to Kanto type of thing. But I don't know, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would make me feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah, it
I
wouldn't. I don't think it because I'm pretty sure the Kalos region is based like in France, and this one is supposed to be tropical. So I don't really know how that makes sense geographically, but it's the world of
Portugal
Pokemon, so you can do whatever you want.
Portugal's kind of tropical and it's pretty near
It's
France.
true.
So
They're pretty close.
yeah,
You can make it happen.
I mean, you could at least make it work in that sense, because like it's not actually like it's not physically France, right? So they have a little bit of leeway, but like it would just have to be like a hot coast, and then you'd get into kind of cooler temperatures. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's believable. I mean, like then you go to like something like the Elder Scrolls, and how the hell are they gonna do elsewhere, right? Because it's
Yeah.
I mean, you can just watch Yeti's video on that, and he'll explain
did.
exactly how they'll do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yep, where it's just like a fucking desert and then a rainforest, perfectly fine. So I mean, it there has to be some kind of transition, but you can do it. My phone is buzzing so much, and I have no idea why. Ugh. God damn. I don't know. With Pokemon though, like I hope that they don't actually have that. Like I hope that people complain about that enough, and they're just like, oh, okay, we'll just take that out then.
Yeah, STRE.
Yeah.
I hope so.
The renovations that are happening in your house. How loud?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you can hear all those.
Oh yeah. You can hear every single one. It's great. It's been happening all show, but like.
Yeah, I was gonna like say a little heads up. It's like really bad right now for some reason.
Is it happening like right on the other side of your door?
It's like right underneath me. They're finishing
Okay.
our basement, and I'm on the main floor, and
That-
so they're building literally
Yeah.
directly below me.
Well, that's
so
what the
earlier-
vent is for. The vent
Yeah,
is so you can
the-
hear all that.
Translate sound.
Yeah.
No, earlier you probably heard the nail gun, which was like now it's
Yes.
an actual hammer. So
Yeah.
it's all very loud.
Yeah. How's that going?
It looks pretty good. It's gonna be dope. After we get that finished, I'm moving my room to the basement, which is not 150 degrees all the time, which is nice. So
That's awesome.
that's gonna be awesome. But it's probably about a month out before we finish it because we only have time to do stuff on the weekends because we all work during the week, so we don't have a lot of time.
Fair enough. So you're gonna have a new recording space then at that point?
Exactly.
That's
Mhm.
exciting.
It's gonna be more soundproof, which is good because these walls echo a bunch.
That'll be good. Sound quality will
Yeah.
improve then. Not that your
I'm
sound
hoping.
quality's bad, but like,
Yeah. It can be better.
Yeah.
Probably also getting a microphone that's not $45 would probably help too.
That's I mean that's fair. Mine's pretty cheap too. I don't know. I've just got an Apex 435, which is like it's good, but
It
it's
sounds
like
fancier than my snowball.
yeah, it is definitely fancier than a snowball. But I have to run it through an audio mixer and stuff like that, so like it's kind of a pain. I need a pop filter though, because this thing like my plosives are over the top.
Mm.
Yeah,
Pop filters are
You're the
pretty
same
cool.
one. Mine broke
Really?
actually.
really?
Your pop filter broke.
This comes with the mic,
Yeah.
and it's stuck
Oh.
on, and it snapped off,
Oh god,
and
hit me in
glue
the
won't hold
face.
it. So I have this one,
Yeah.
but it hasn't been doing anything for some reason. When I have it off, it sounds like this. When I put the pop filter on, it like amplifies all the horrible sounds. So at the moment, I'm just not using one until I can figure out a way to stick this back on, because they don't sell them individually, these metal ones.
Yeah.
So I have no way to get a replacement of this.
Yeah. No, this was like $4, so I bought it.
That's fair. I have to like I'm gonna do some research on them, because like I would really like to have a decent pop filter so that I didn't sound like I was attacking the microphone whenever I do a scripted bit. Pah! Just those all the time. Yeah. You got someone trapped in the basement there, Josh. Look, we're not saying he does. We're not saying he doesn't. We're just, well, he apparently is saying that he does. All right. Well, anyways,
And these are pretty much the sounds someone would make if they were trying to escape.
yes. Anyways, this is, I think, a good place to end the show because we're really just rambling and hanging out. So thank you very much to everyone who stopped by on the show today. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out. And to everyone who's watching on the VOD, if you want to catch it live, you can do so on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then whatever the hell it is everywhere else. I can't convert times. So yeah, come check us out when we're live. Also, the podcast is currently listed as June 11th, 2016, and I also didn't change the topic for the entire show.
Welcome to the Summit Podcast, guys, and that was our intro. So
And-
I hope you guys are excited for.
For the next 12 hours of podcasting, yeah, no, and this is definitely the June 11th podcast, definitely not the 18th.
Check your clocks, man. You forgot to. It's daylight savings time, so you got to set your clock back a week, and people just forget to do that. Sometimes.
I'm just gonna quickly change the broadcast title so it actually saves properly. Whoops.
Sorry for ruining E3 for everyone this week coming up. Gave away all the big releases.
Yep. We talked about some things that we got to see beforehand because they pre-record all of the conferences. So we got to see everything before everybody else. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the future of E3, and I will say this week kind of sucks heat-wise coming up. So you should be careful if you live in Missouri.
It's only like 99 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, they do say on the weather deadly heat warning. But yeah. Hey, Matt
I don't
just
know if
got
it's
his
deadly
hover
because
car.
they.
That's
Oh,
good news.
dope.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's deadly because the heat can kill you, or if because it's so hot you're gonna want to kill yourself. That's kind of what I'm more leaning towards.
That's understandable. You've made 3 suicide jokes in this episode, so we know where you're
I
at.
did.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm doing good, guys. It's all right here.
All right. I mean, I think one was before the show because we were talking
Oh,
about
okay.
game cartridges, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if you lose your game card.
Yeah, and you gotta step in front of a bus. Yeah,
Forgot about that.
yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the Summit Podcast, everybody. Where it's always the intro and it's always June 11th.
Wait, we didn't do any product placement. Rubik's Cube. Buy Rubik's Cube.
Blue Yeti side quest. I have one, and it picks up everything. It picks up people having a conversation down the street, and it does need a pop filter as well. But I do have one.
Yeah, my snowball picks up my neighbors having intercourse, and they're lesbians, so it's loud. But
Hold on.
Okay.
Can we just, before we finish the show, can we just touch on that for a moment? You went from
No.
Touch on
they're
that.
lesbians to so it's loud. Is that something that you think is because they're lesbians, or just because they are who they are and they're loud people?
probably just who they are.
Yeah.
Also, they're just loud in general.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that we established that and we're able to make sure that people are
Speaking-
aware we're not
No stereotype in here.
we're
They're
not
just loud
calling
people.
lesbians loud intercoursers. Just those people. Anyways, go ahead and pimp your channels, guys. Whoever wants to start, I don't care.
PlaycrastiNation.
Josh, you go. I always go first.
YouTube.com/that. I make videos. Dark Souls is a series that is here now. I keep dying, and I don't like it very much. Playing Pokemon, starting a new Nuzlocke. I think the poll ends today, so I'm recording some new episodes today.
Yay.
And I'm finishing up Arc Gold and continuing with Binding of Isaac and maybe some more Nuclear Throne. I don't know yet. Probably no Gungeon because it's too long for me.
That's fair. Can I just say I'm pissed that Braviary isn't winning?
I am too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put my 2 cents into who I wanted,
Yeah.
But I definitely went and asked my brother to go vote for Braviary, and then he voted for Gallade to make me mad.
Yeah.
I voted Explode.
Poor Xplot, he only has like 10%.
I want to look at this poll right now because, like, straight up, like,
Yeah, pull it up.
I'm upset that that it's not.
I've
gonna be
never
Braviary.
used a Braviary. If you guys are in the chat or watching this, please go to the poll and maybe vote Braviary. Unless it's over, please don't be over.
No,
If it's
2
already
hours
over,
left.
and
2 hours left.
dude, this is gonna be the final push. This is the final push. What is it still? Is Gallade still 50?
50, and then
Oh,
Braviary's 39.
I think if Braviary gets 2 votes, it'll probably be tied between them. I'm gonna go create 2 Twitter accounts and vote for Braviary.
You should absolutely.
If anybody out there has
have some
personal
votes.
Twitter accounts,
I do
Vote
actually
in the
have a
poll.
personal Twitter account. I will
vote
hop on that.
Braviary. I want him to win so bad.
Not to rig your own poll, but
Yeah.
well, like when I was doing the Skyrim polls for like asking people what they wanted to see me play, they were like, "Oh yeah, you should do a steed character." So like I did the classy mods. Yeah, classy stones. And then they were like, yeah, you should play a steed character and oh yeah, and make it a Breton female. It's like okay, the female part I don't have a problem with at all. The Breton
I did Steed.
it's a Breton. They're literally magic users. That's what they do. And you're like, oh yeah, go use this class that literally hates magic. I hate you guys. You know who you are. But seriously though, I haven't even like I haven't found the stones yet. Well, no, I have, but in the series that's posted, I haven't found the stones yet for the steed. So
They're like, oh, the Steed. Okay.
yeah. There are the starting ones, the rogue, the warrior, the thief, the warrior, the mage. But yeah,
Mage.
yeah.
Braviary is gonna make the greatest comeback ever.
Hold up, I just saw what you
Side quest.
what did SideQuest do? Did he just vote for?
He voted Gallade. It's okay. Gallade's still pretty dope, but I'm worried that Braviary is gonna wreck me once I start playing. Also, Braviary is just a dope eagle. Why wouldn't you want a dope eagle?
I mean, it is very American of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta represent my country.
If there was a moose Pokemon, I'd be all over that.
There's Stantler.
Yeah, but that's like very much a deer, not a moose.
Yeah.
A reindeer. I feel like reindeer in Canada. I don't actually know what the wildlife in
I
Canada
mean,
pertains to at all.
Santa is Canadian. That's something I should point
Oh
out.
yeah.
So
It's also real.
yeah, he's a
We have
really nice
hedgehogs
guy.
and
He
worms.
comes down to Vancouver for his vacation.
Hedgehogs and worms.
And worms. The hedgehogs eat the worms. And that's our.
You got a whole
Nature
ecosystem
economy.
going there.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Hedgehogs eat
did
the worms
you,
and just get bigger.
Josh? Where did you get this GIF for the going live?
I just searched, I think hype,
That's what
GIFs,
came up.
and that popped up a couple gifs down. So I was like, I like it.
It's pretty legit. I'm
It's a good gift.
it's mesmerizing. I'm just watching it.
It's just running.
Yeah. Looks a bit like
I wish
you
I could
too.
recreate it.
It looks like you without a beard. And if you were
It could
more
be.
blonde.
That could be me.
Like
I don't know how he does it though. He's so nimble.
he's stepping. He's not sliding his feet. He's just stepping his feet and then kicking them out to make it look like he was sliding them.
But with like how much kicking he's doing, I feel like he'd face plant by now.
That's true. I imagine at the end of this there is a face plant. We just don't get to see it because it's a GIF.
They cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, but like you're like no one has voted, by the way. If he voted Gallade, he already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know where I'm gonna find some more people to vote, but there has to be someone out there that can save me. Save me from this nothing I've become.
Yeah. You know, it looks like wow, really? Sorry, I accidentally popped onto my analytics page and I have more someone voted for Xploud.
Wait, someone did.
Who's that?
I think I got
Oh,
two
Yeti,
votes.
did you
One was for Xcloud and one was for Gallade.
Yeah.
Literally anything but Braviary.
I'll go on my personal account and vote for Gallade.
I want to be Gallade in it.
Gallade honestly looks like the most boring of those three, though. Like
He's pretty dope. He's
I
a good
understand that.
I've used him before, but like I've never used the other two, so I was kind of hyped for them.
Yeah,
But,
like that's the thing, right? Like I was kind of like, oh, like people probably will want to see you do a new one. I think like out of the two that are new, I'd like to see Braviary over Exploud. But then
I know people love Gallade though. Like it's one of my favorite too, but
it's
just
because
because
it's
psychic
good
fighting is a
though.
dope typing, but
It's because it's good though, not because it's fun.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And like
yeah. It's very high attack. It's good.
like I don't know. It's just if it were me, I'd rather see you play something that's like more exciting rather than rather than something that's like just straight up good. Also, by the way, everybody, this is basically not the show anymore. You're welcome to
Yeah.
leave if you want. I'm still recording it. This is the after show. It'll go up in the VOD too. So if you have shit to do, you can go ahead and leave. Same with you guys. Like if you need
All right,
to
see ya.
if you need to
Yeah.
bounce, you can bounce. But like I mean, if
Go
we're
down
just
here.
if we're just hanging out for now, like I'm all right with that. So this is just after show. I would change the topic, but I haven't even opened up the word like the text document to change that. So it's not happening. It's still the intro. Oh, but like yeah, no, I would have preferred like Exploud even over Galad. Is it Galade or Galad?
Yeah. I think it's Gallade. I'm not sure. I used to call it Gallade, which I think is really wrong.
Yeah.
But basically, even the people at
Gayade?
Pokemon don't know how to produce Pokemon or pronounce Pokemon names. So
Yeah. Gayade.
Gallade.
Gayate.
En español.
Gayate. Oh shit. It literally means oh shit.
Yep.
Gayate. Sorry, for people who are Spanish, and I'm butchering that. I did take Spanish in high school,
Me
but
too.
that's like all I remember from it.
And Universidad.
Oh yeah. And me
College
llamo.
University. I can still speak un poco Spanish.
Un poco Spanish, so a little
Un
bit.
poco Spanish. I can speak a poco Spanish.
I can peek a pogo stick of Spanish. YouTube.com/Yeti hype. Yes, you're doing your outro now, Yeti.
I'm gonna go and eat some food.
That is
So
that is reasonable. You're gonna mess
I'll
up.
probably
after showing.
also. I'm probably also gonna go order some Chinese food and go eat it.
You know what? Screw you guys.
What? You don't want Chinese food?
No, I want Chinese food. That's why I'm
Oh.
saying screw you.
Who else can I share this with that hasn't voted yet? Oh my God! Who is destroying things in my house?
Are you actually are you doing like a breakdown with your reno as well, or is it like just rebuilding?
A what? A what?
Tear down? Like are you tearing down stuff as well?
No, it's just the basement was unfinished, so the basement
Right.
was pretty much just a big block of concrete, and so we're just putting up 2x4s for walling, and then I think I don't know if they're still doing the basic outline with the 2x4s today, or if they're moving on to drywall yet. But then drywall, and then paint, and then carpeting, and then what's the word? Installing a bar downstairs, and then. It's a long process. I want them to just focus on my. It's a little selfish. I'm just get my room done first, and then you can do everything else if you want.
Yeah, but I mean that would make recording for you pretty hard if you went down there and moved down there already. So
That's a good point.
yeah. So I mean despite the fact that yes, it would be awesome to have your room, it probably makes a little bit more sense to just
The
finish
whole
the whole
time
thing.
recording this. Harry, want to welcome.
Yeah.
Could get obnoxious.
By the way, based on the hammering, they're not doing drywall.
No, that's true.
They are doing the 2x4s.
Yeah, I think they did that part of the house yesterday, or that part of the. It's a freaking massive basement. I think they're doing this part, the storage part today. Yo, I don't know what that language is.
That is Japanese, I think. Anyways, Yeti, thanks for coming out to the show. No, you got to head out. So
Yes.
go enjoy your
Yep.
food. So do your
Well.
outro quick.
Okay, quickly. Yeah, YouTube.com/. I have a ton of discussion stuff coming up this week. Way too long Dishonored breakdown video coming up tomorrow, and some Siege stuff, a Dishonored theory. yeah, discussion stuff. If you like Dishonored and you like Siege, then there's stuff coming out this week for both of those things, amongst others. So watch those. That's it. I'm out.
All right.
Drops mic.
Leif,
I'm not gonna drop
actually
it.
throw it down and smash it into
I
pieces.
can drop my yay.
Yeah, do that.
I'm out.
All right, later, Yeti. And we're gonna all shift over now because of screen regions.
Oh man, should we end it?
I mean,
You
we
want you
can.
hype your channel?
Oh yeah, I gotta say that I also have a YouTube channel, guys. I also do. It is youtube.com/winterbeargames, and I had a shit time posting this week because of Windows 10 updates being bullshit and changing things. Your face is around my face now in this.
Yes, I love it when it's like this.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So you can check out the videos that I do post. I have a lot more videos coming this week, and I have some I'm making up for missing videos last week videos. So yeah, you can check those out at youtube.com/winterbeargames, and I'll be on Twitch this week as well at twitch.tv/winterbeargames. Yeah, so check us out and enjoy Josh's face being split here. Exactly. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Swaggles.
All right. It is still recording because of issues with stream delay. But I think that went well. Only had 45 dropped frames this week.
That's pretty good.
It's much better.
That is an improvement.